Well, things are certainly not looking great if you're a Lego Marvel and a Lego DC fan. Lego has gone ahead and dropped their financial results for the year, and I gotta say, let's first and foremost go on ahead and get the positive out of the way, I guess. If you're a Lego fan, if you're a Lego investor or anything like that, you're kind of stoked because guess what? They went ahead and reported $9.2 billion in revenue. That is a 17% rise. They increased their net profit by 4%. That means after all the expenses, they managed to go on ahead and make roughly around $1.9 billion, which is absolutely bananas, especially when you really think about the fact that, for example, over the course of the last year, apparently they went ahead and opened up 155 brand new Lego stores, bringing their grand total to 904 retail locations, which is kind of nuts because honestly, for me personally, I feel like I haven't seen any new Lego stores anywhere close to me in Canada, so I don't really know exactly where these stores are being opened up, but this is obviously a pretty rapid expansion, all things considered. And again, it puts everything into context in terms of the fact that obviously Lego is expanding quite greatly, managing to go on ahead and increase their expenses quite a bit, but at the same time, the revenue continues to grow as we, the consumers, continue to buy the more expensive and pricier sets. Or at least some of the consumers are continuing to do so because some of the themes are most definitely struggling or not doing as well as others. So during their financial report, obviously they went ahead and shared a bunch of other details as far as the fact that, at least for me personally, it's very clear that Lego is going to go on ahead and focus on digital stuff going forward just as much as physical bricks. But that's a video for another time. You can go on ahead and obviously look up their results and look at more details if you're interested in that sort of thing. More specifically, of course, one of the things that people love to see is the performance highlights for which themes in Lego have done the best. And the popular 5 themes for this year as a whole are the same as they were before, which is kind of an interesting trend continuing here for Lego itself. So what were the top 5 themes? Now, again, Lego does not go on ahead and disclose to us the order of these themes, meaning like which one is the most popular versus the other 4 themes. So they give us 5 of them in total, and they go on ahead and let us try to figure out, I guess, which one is the best seller. So we have Lego City, Lego Star Wars, Lego Icons, Lego Technic, and Lego Harry Potter. Now, I think that this is quite interesting because, of course, as you look at that list, you would definitely go on ahead and start thinking to yourself, like, okay, most of those kind of make sense. At least some do. And to me, like Lego City and Lego Star Wars are no-brainers because I feel like Lego City and Lego Star Wars are almost always going to be the top sellers. I think those are kind of the bread and butter of Lego. Lego Technic, I think, is also kind of one that makes sense to me, especially because it's a very premium theme. So the people that collect it spend a lot of money on that theme, and I think that it appeals to more of the people that are very fascinated by the engineering side of things with Lego. So no problems there. Lego Icons is very interesting to me because I personally just did not think that Icons is quite that big of a theme, but clearly it is having mass appeal. So very cool to see that, and a bit of a surprise. And then Lego Harry Potter. Obviously, there was a bit of a break there with Harry Potter sets where they weren't making them for a few years. So because of that, I'm wondering if there's a bit of a pent-up demand with the sets. And so because of that, maybe that's why they're performing as well as they are. But I also think maybe there's a case of the sets are just simply better than what we're seeing in other themes, because if we look at the actual set counts, so I went ahead and went to brick sets to take a look at the actual number of sets that were being released for these particular years, and it's very interesting to see because if we look at something like Marvel Superheroes, it actually received 39 different sets in 2022, but it did not manage to crack into this top 5 list, which is very interesting because Lego Harry Potter, on the other hand, had only 16 sets and managed to make the top 5. I think that this is definitely an indication across the board that Marvel as a whole is less appealing to fans than previously it was. I think that's just the reality of what we're seeing here. Now, of course, I think also it doesn't help the fact that Lego has purely leaned into the MCU side of things and has pretty much ignored the comic book aspect of Marvel almost altogether, making sets only based on what have been for the most part, very lackluster movies as of late, like Thor: Love and Thunder, like The Eternals. Those movies obviously were very underwhelming and underperformed. And then even the movies that were better received, something like Wakanda Forever, you could go on ahead and make the case that the sets themselves were less than stellar and didn't really capture the imaginations and the interest of the consumer base. Now, on the DC side of things, things are not any better either, with 11 sets being released. And keep in mind, some of the set releases that I'm counting here, as far as the 11 that were released, are polybags that were released as part of a magazine release. If we're talking about actual sets, there were actually only 5 sets that were released as far as like worldwide releases, and those were the Batmobile Polybag, Batman and Selena Kyle Motorcycle Pursuit, the Batmobile Penguin Chase, the Batcave Riddler Face-Off set, and Batman vs. Harley Quinn. So obviously, once again, the question that arises for me personally is really, what is the issue here? Is it the fact that the comic book genre as a whole has declined in popularity, and so therefore it transitions to other consumer products like Lego? Is it a case of Lego choosing the wrong projects and the wrong sets to release, and hence why we're not seeing so much enthusiasm for the two themes specifically tied to Lego DC and Lego Marvel? And is it a case where Lego just simply needs to go on ahead and pivot their attention towards things like the Daily Bugle, instead of focusing on these movie releases where you're pretty much kind of dependent on the popularity of the film and the success of the film to see if the merchandise does well, and instead just focus on more of the comic book aspects like the Daily Bugle, for example, where I know this is anecdotal evidence, but at least in my circle of friends and people that I know in real life, I've never seen so many people so enthusiastic about buying a Lego set, even though the set was like $400. So to me, it just shows that I think if you make a really, really great, compelling offering, I genuinely do believe that people will go on ahead and pay and continue to support the themes of Lego, Marvel, and DC. But let me know what you guys think. Is it good? Is it bad? Are you surprised by any of the themes that were reported here and how well they did? Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys here on the next one. Peace out. See you later, alligators.